question first of all. Are the judges ready to? Are the judges ready? I will take that as a yes. So this is our app Grow Together. We unfortunately Matthew is not present as he is currently unavailable at this time. First, I would like to ask, can y'all see the presentation?
Yes, we
Okay.
can.
Okay, I will take that as a yes. So, first of all, I would like to introduce ourselves. So, Andy, he is our chief programmer. Mathew, who, as mentioned before, is not here today, is a subordinate programmer to Andy. Timothy, who is also a programmer and a subordinate programmer to Andy. And me, William, who will be the coordinator of the actual presentation for today. So, I can imagine that the majority of the audience listening here is also consisting of parents. Obviously, we have a problem with our current parent child society. That is weak communication. I'm sure for those parents out there, right, we would love to know what's really going on in our children's minds and what are they up to as of now. And because of this lack of communication, there's this risk of future conflicts. In the future, these kinds of children struggle to act as parents in the future, which only makes a worse social loop that affects the future generations, especially their own children. And then it becomes a perplexity of intention, and oftentimes this makes many relationships kind of bitter or distant even for some parents and children. So, the Grow Together app basically essentially helps children discover their intrinsic interests, set meaningful goals, and track progress via means of daily reflection while enabling parents to provide support. This creates a unified experience that strengthens the bond, motivation, and communication aspect of the parent to child relationship.
We all have to start somewhere. We can fine tune the sliders that best match our liking, and the AI within the program will figure out our top three interests given said data. Complete daily goals along the way. Commit to your passion. Supply output. One's passion needs to grow and be developed accordingly. And you need to check your progress after you complete your daily goals. You can check your progress to remind you of the hard work and effort that you have put in. The app will give encouragements in response. Um, Answer reflective questions. Developing also means to look back and think. When you answer reflective questions, it encourages a set of motivations to improve in the future, building discipline. You can also view your child's progress, keep watch on your child's work. You can see whether they are progressing in the app. You can also read the reflections. This bridges a majority of communication errors. Reading reflections allows the parents to have an idea of what the child's needs are. You can also send encouragements to your child. There's no better way to motivate your child than sending encouragements made specifically by you. Your child can understand your knowledge, acknowledgement of their journey. Um, or you can receive AI suggested activities, receive advice from an AI which poses as a professional. The AI takes the data inputted by the child's work and suggests next step idea for you.
the superiorities of our app. First, I would like to state that is a very unique app in its sense because so far, as I have researched, there's been no other app that aims to try to fix or repair the relationship between the child or parent. We have real-time understanding, and then we have really good, meaningful engagement. It is a continuous loop which allows it to autonomously adapt itself to the ever-changing child.
Please note that the timer has ended already.
Thank you.
Our app is superior and it's also special because the factors are unified, like interests discovery, goal setting, daily reflection, and parent support. We also have a parent-child feedback loop, interest rating, AI generated goal suggestions, and goal creation, which supports and further refines the experience. We also are easily implementable, and to create and enforce the app into the daily life of the parent and child, it's very sustainable and efficient.
This is basically the structure of our AI, which uses several layers, interconnected layers, and data in order for it to be informed.
To use our app, we use VS Code and GitHub to make our app work, and we also use Node.js. So even though our app is pretty good at doing what it does, the boundaries still exist because the app relies on user inputs. If the user, like the parent or the child, if their inputs are not honest or if they're not consistent enough, it won't work as much as it should be. And also, the AI generated content is not always perfect, and sometimes it can be restraining or even like not accurate. The app can strengthen families by improving the parental bond between the parents and the children. And also, when the children grow up, they can grow up to be confident and motivated and emotionally aware. So this app is feasible and very possible because we've already completed the app and it's currently in the beginning testing. It can also be developed incrementally, starting from the basic fundamentals of goal tracking and then adding advancement features and then refining it in the long run.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the presentation. And now, the judges, any questions or comments from the judges?
I only have one. William and Andy, please be honest on this. Are you using this app daily with your parents, or how often you use it?
So, me personally, in order to test the results of this app and the effectiveness, I have to obviously, test it with my parents. I also encourage some of my friends at my school to try to use it and see how well it goes, in a sense.
Okay. Andy, how about you?
Yeah, same with William.
Okay. So what's the feedback from your parents?
So far, what we've gotten from me is that because my parents sort of understand the layout of the app. So far, we've gotten this kind of feedback that it's a little bit complex in nature, but but it's not really like too complicated to not be used in a sense. It works though.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'll sort of follow up on Steve's comments. I think, it's a good idea. I think the world needs it, certainly. And, implementation, I think, your testing and, is where, you know, success or not lies if you're really thinking about trying to make this a business. And I think one of the challenges, and you sort of mentioned it in your answer to Steve, you need the child and also the parents to both say yes. And so you have two parties involved. So, it might be good for you to maybe get a parent involved or a parent group involved. You as the children building it, but getting their feedback to make sure you're designing it such that they would also find it interesting. The other question I'd ask, when you talk about child development, a lot of times people ask questions, age related. So is this good for, middle school, high school, college? Kind of thinking through that the demographic component of your users.
So our main demographic is mainly the middle school or the high schooler range because most of those kids are teenagers. They're just trying to become adults. They're trying to figure out who they are, right? But if that part of their life is sort of roughed up or kind of messed around in a way that impacts them in a very, very baleful way, then it becomes a little bit challenging for them to at least communicate with others in daily life or attempt to actually like in a sense achieve their dreams.
Yeah, and you might try, and it's difficult, but your school itself and the administrators, but see if you can get the school to kind of endorse it in some form to allow you to have a test bed to keep building.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the other two judges' question. It's really about the adoption. Like, how do you encourage not only the parents but also the kids to use your app? It's like, why do they don't want to share with the parent directly, but they would like to share through your app? What are the kind of the things, like for example, making your app more engaging or games like things to encourage the kids to use it?
I guess in that sense, we could we I have I us people have expected some sort of I guess rough upbringing when we try to install this app because by that time a lot of children have kind of not become cutthroat in a sense but become sort of very sometimes secretive about some of their own intentions and I believe passions too. And we want to be able to make sure that we can start this early on for, right, like beginning of middle school, or we can at least try to first establish, given the caveat that we first establish a strong relationship between the parent and the child.
Great. So if the judges have no more questions, the judges